Ask and you shall receive. These are the results of a poll that were taken by AAPI data in 2022 of Asian American voters, showing that a majority do support affirmative action. And those results are similar to a similar poll that was conducted by the Pew Research Center in 2023. Pew Research broke that data down into more categories, and as you can see, the only Asian American subgroup that is more likely to say that they think affirmative action is a bad thing than to say that it is a good thing or that they don't know is Republican and Republican-leaning Asian Americans. And because I know a lot of people are also under the mistaken impression that a majority of Asian Americans are politically conservative, I also thought I would include the data showing that a majority of Asian Americans are Democrat or Democratic-leaning. So why then might this data showing that a majority of Asian Americans do support affirmative action feel at odds, especially for people who are being harmed by the affirmative action ban in higher education? Unfortunately, it is because the racial mascotting, specifically of Asian Americans, to attack programs designed to address systemic racism is not new. In fact, the term racial mascotting came from Asian American opposition in the 1980s to Reagan Administration attempts to weaponize findings that colleges like Stanford, Brown, and Berkeley were discriminating against Asian Americans to attack affirmative action. They spoke out vocally about the co-opting of the issue of Asian American discrimination to attack affirmative action because the two issues are separate and should not be conflated. And a majority of Asian Americans do still understand this. There were more Asian American students, activists, and legalists who fought in support of Harvard and support of affirmative action than those who opposed it during the lawsuit. Unfortunately, because no group is a monolith, Edward Bloom was able to seek out and find the minority of Asian Americans who oppose affirmative action, and conservative politicians are more than happy to amplify that minority to give the impression that they represent most of us, exactly to further divide and conquer. Now, I do understand that where it comes to causing harm, it is all of us until it is none of us, and that is exactly why my channel exists, to acknowledge anti-Blackness that exists among Asian American communities and the necessity to address it, to urge my fellow Asian Americans not to align with whiteness, and to provide information, historical through lines, and insight to help us fight against the model minority myth, and to support my fellow Asian Americans in understanding that none are free until all are free.